You really want to tell me about your story at Dairy Queen?
So the
Okay.
other night I was
That.
crying in my
I'm here.
apartment because I really wanted Dairy Queen. So I messaged my sister,
Okay.
and it was probably like 9:30 at night. So they were gonna
Mhm.
close at 10, and they're just down the road. So like, it wasn't really a huge deal if we're being honest. But I texted her and I was like, please, for the love of God, see it, because she takes forever to reply sometimes. She knows this. We all know this. So I texted her and I was like, hey, do you want to go to Dairy Queen? If you drive me, I will buy you a treat. Less than 5 minutes go by and she texts me back and she's like, yes, I'm getting in the car right now. And she picked us up with her. Oh yeah,
She's
she
like,
brought our
hell
mutual
yeah.
friend Haley. And she picked me up. We went to DQ. I got a blizzard, Leah got fries, and then I got Haley a dip cone. Super cheap.
Ooh, I
I
haven't had dip
don't
cone in
either. They freaked me out a little
forever.
bit though, I'm not gonna lie. Just because like
Why
the
do they
chocolate and
freak
the
you
cold, when
out?
you bite through it, I know that it's there, but it still freaks me out. But anyway,
Oh, okay. Do you have sensitive
super
teeth? Is that
sensitive
why?
teeth. Like insane.
My molars are, but like my front teeth, I can like
Ooh.
into ice cream, and it makes everybody around me go, I don't
No,
like you now.
no, we're not gonna do that. I would cry. I would literally burst into tears and cry. Um,
My favorite thing to do is get a cone of ice cream, just be like, look, people be like, hey, watch this, and just
oh,
take a giant bite off the top, and they go, no, you're not
no, I'm not a
okay.
fan. I like had a crush on a guy who used to do that. He had no nerves in his teeth, and he would chew
I
popsicles.
wish.
Like straight up, just like nah, nah,
Nope.
nah, like gnawing on popsicles. It was awful. But anyway, we're coming back from Dairy Queen. When we
Creepy
left the
consequences.
apartment, there was two police cars parked beside each other, and we were like, "Huh, that's weird. Like, good job using tax dollars, whatever." So they were just parked there, and we didn't really think anything of it. And we were coming back, and they were still parked there, but we drove past them, and then we saw that their lights, and we were like, "What?"
Oh.
And then we're like, "Is that for
Oh.
us?" And I was like, "Oh God!"
Uh-huh.
Like we didn't do anything wrong. We went and got ice cream and French fries. You know what I mean? Like, what's the big deal? So we pull
Yeah.
over the car, um, and we're like, okay, whatever. Like, we didn't do anything wrong. So he gets Leah, my sister, to roll the window down, and he's like, "Where are you guys coming from? Where are you going to?" And we're all just kind of looking at this guy. And then the
Oh.
other cop from the other cop car was walking to the car and shines the flashlight in my eyeballs. I'm sitting in the back seat, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then
Jesus, is that
I was
you?
like, "Hello? Like, I don't what? Like, this is not the time." Um, honestly, it was the perfect time because I had a brownie extreme blizzard and it was fucking delicious. Anyway,
Oh, it sounds
so good.
good.
And she's like, "Oh, we went and got ice cream." And we're like, "Yeah, we went and got ice cream." And they're like, "Oh, well, we seen you drive past a couple minutes ago and then come back. So like, carry on." Because I was like, "Well, I just live right there." Like we were literally in front of my apartment where he pulled us over. And he was like, "Oh, well, all right, carry on." And then
Oh.
Haley, our friend Haley, says super loud.
Uh-huh.
She's like, "What, is that illegal or something?" While
No.
he's walking away.
No! She's the entire like the person who's like, I want to go to jail right now.
Honestly,
I want to go
yeah,
right
and
now.
under
Let's
different
go.
circumstances because of my life, which you know about, like
Oh,
under
yeah.
different circumstances, I too would be like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? But I was like, I really don't need to get into trouble with the law right now. Like, I just don't. I'm trying to rebuild my life. So they
Oh
just like left and
no.
did their own thing, and they stayed on that street all night, and they dropped me off, and I'm like, "I'm so sorry, you guys," and they're like, "Obviously."
Wait, who dropped you off? Your friends or
No,
the
no, no,
cops?
no,
Because right
no.
now I'm picturing
We
the
were
cops, and I'm like,
parked
huh?
like basically in front of my apartment. So the cops left. We just did like a turnaround. We turned around in someone's driveway so that I would have like a better way to like get out of the car and like get into my apartment. So we just like parked there for a second. We were just like, what the hell was that about? Like, are people not allowed to just like go get ice cream and then go back home? Like, you don't know my neighbor.
Not
Apparently not.
anymore.
So then
Nope.
I messaged my roommate, who also is named Haley. And I was like, what the heck is going on in our neighborhood right now where like we can't even go get ice cream? And apparently there's been a lot of stuff going on around here in like the past couple of years that I didn't know about when I moved here. But like drug busts and
Oh.
everything, and I was just like, oh, well, you're talking to the wrong person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sober. I don't do that.
Yep.
Like, okay. But yeah, our
I is good, healthy American. I no do bad shit.
right. I'm Canadian, but yes. I'm a good little boy.
I'm mama's good little angel. I no
Oh
do
my, I
nothing
just like
bad.
that ice.
Getting looks over here.
I see him. No, so our ice cream trip ended up
Oh,
getting us pulled over by the cops, and it was a lot. I went back into the house and I was so pissed off.
oh
So I
no.
started angrily eating my ice cream, and then I got a brain freeze.
A brain freeze just
Yeah,
because you
because I
were
was like,
like
what did
scoffing
they
it
know?
down.
Nom 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 nom. And then I was like, oh shit. Like, whatever. It was kind of funny.
So, funny, funny question, but do you
Do I
emotionally eat?
emotionally? I want to say no because when I'm super stressed out, I can't eat. I get super nauseous. I'll throw up, like straight up.
Because I'll be honest, I do. And like when I tell you I do, it's specific
Set the
things that I
scene.
do. Like, for instance, okay. Okay, we'll set the scene for you. So like I come home from like a really rough day of work and I some days, my man's not home like when I'm home, so I'm home alone for a minute. And when I have that time for the thoughts to boil and fester and shit, there are certain things that when they're in the fridge or in our cupboards, I will down all of them. For one being
Oh,
Swiss rolls. But today was not Swiss rolls. Oh no. Um, so we okay. So I come home from work and I'm not the happiest of people, mind you, and I get a little like in my emotions and it can be everything from anger to depression to like everything makes me like stress eat kind of thing. So so I get home and I'm not the happiest and I haven't eaten anything all day, which mind you makes it worse because if you know that works, it just gets worse if you haven't. I get really hangry and stuff, so I get home and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna like
yeah.
down something. What's the first thing I find? A
Stop
wheel of
right
cheese.
now. Stop right now. Did you eat a
Gone.
whole wheel of cheese?
Gone. You know those spread the laughing
Yeah,
cow
they're like
cheese, the little
crack.
spread cheeses?
So good.
I ate I ate a
Oh,
wheel of those because of just and yeah, so that was
oh
not
my God.
fun at all. That was like I paid for it later. I really did, but I really paid for it later. But the funny part about it is that like sometimes when I'm snacking on things like that, especially like cheesy products or milk products, I'll hand them off to my man. Sometimes I'll be like, "Do you want it?" And he's lactose, and sometimes he's like, sure," or "No." Or sometimes it's the question of, "Do you want to deal with the consequences later?" And I'm like, "Sure, I'll take the
That's
challenge."
true love right there. That is true love.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it's more the question of are you happy? Do you want this? And then when I hear yes, it's like okay, I will deal with the problem. I will handle
Oh
it. It will be
man.
okay. But then other times it's like no, I'm not in the mood.
Dude,
Please
like
don't.
you're not lactose intolerant, right?
Oh no, I
I'm
love
like,
my
no,
milk
I
too
mean, it
much.
has no, okay, listen, it has nothing to do with my love of dairy products and everything to do with my body hates me and I can't have the things that I want ever. Like, I can't, like, I can handle my alcohol pretty well, but like, I can't drink an excessive amount just like anybody else. But like, cheese, I love cheese. Like, I just really do. I'll go to like Sobeys or Walmart and I'll be like,
I don't know if you remember, but we had a person in the Bible college that we
yes,
were in that loved cheese and literally would buy blocks of cheese
who
just
was
to.
it?
Oh, you
No,
didn't? Oh shit, no, she was my freshman. She was a
no, I
freshman with me.
didn't.
I forgot about that. But yeah, she would so like literally to this day and she would tell you herself, she'd be like, I love cheese. Like when it was Christmas time, We went out and we got her packages of the blocks of cheese, and she would down those.
Okay,
Like,
but
that's what
weren't
she
you eating
loved. Sharp
sharp
cheddar. I
cheddar?
remember that.
What's wrong with
It was the white. It's the
Okay,
white block,
okay.
not the orange block. It's the white
I
one.
don't
I don't know
know,
what
but
that is.
if she just be sitting there eating orange cheese, I don't know how I feel about that. You know what I mean? There's so many better cheeses that you could just sit down and devour, and you're gonna sit down and eat orange, old cheddar, dry, chalky ass cheese. Like I am so not even. He'll just sit there and eat like to pick up a
Oh.
block of cheese and just bite into it. He won't even cut it up.
So, talking about the whole like stress eating thing just a second ago. So we had one time where my ex, mind you, I used to date this girl in
Yeah.
Bible college, and she was on FaceTime with me, walked into the student lounge, like the girls' lounge, flips the camera, points it at her, and goes, "Are you seeing this?" And I'm like, "Is she just eating a block of cheese?" She goes, "I'm stressed," and just keeps eating the block of cheese. I'm like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Should I let you go? Do you need to take care of her? Like, what
Well,
is wrong?"
listen, we've all been there. I used to do that. You said Swiss rolls, and it brought me back to college legit. Because, like, we would get donations and stuff all the time, and they would just donate
Oh
so
yeah, I remember
many
that.
Swiss rolls. And I had friends in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying?
I
I had
remember
my
the.
girls in the kitchen, and I was just
Oh
like,
yeah.
hit me up. Like,
Oh
dinner
yeah.
looks disgusting. Give me my Swiss rolls. So there was a time when I went and they filled, I was wearing these big, baggy men's sweatpants and this huge, oversized sweater. And we stuffed my pockets full, my kangaroo pouch and my sweater full just of Swiss rolls. And then we had a Swiss roll party.
That actually sounds really cool. Do you I don't know if you ever did this on or in college, but we used to do nights where like we would buy a bunch of snacks or get a bunch of snacks from downstairs if someone donated a bunch
Right.
to the school or whatnot, and we would do movie nights in our room because my roommate had a projector and we would set it up and we'd all go through and do like marathons and stuff. Like it was fun. Like we even had one night, I believe, that like if I recall correctly, because I had a GameCube and I believe we brought it over. Yeah, and we did like a game night where we set up the projector and literally played GameCube games for like
I mean,
hours.
yes and no. Like we had like on the girls' dorm because like this was obviously before I came out, but like on the girls' dorm, there was such a huge problem when I was going to school of people stealing other people's food.
Yep,
Oh,
I remember that. We had guys peeing in orange
ew!
juice. We had milk jugs with other stuff going into it. Use your imagination. Literally. And it was the funniest thing when I ended up sitting down with this one of the guys at the school, Dr. Richard, and I sat down with him and his group for like their mentor
Mm.
thing that they did at the college met in the men's lounge, like the men's dorm lounge. And we sat there and I watched one guy get up to grab a jug and one of my other friends started going, don't touch that one. And wasn't it the funniest shit to explain in front of
Ew.
Dr. Richard why you can't drink the milk and to how the
Why do
stuff
I
got in
feel like a
there.
lot of my friends who went to school the year that I did were the ones peeing in the apple juice? I'm right.
Yes. Yes, they were. I can
I
tell
knew
you
it,
that.
and I know
I can
exactly
name
who it
drop one
is.
person and
I
you
know
go,
exactly
"Yep,
who it
I
is.
know
Is
who it
he
is."
based off of a child's movie that, has Dory in it? Finding-
I mean, oh,
Yeah,
yes, when he was there, yes,
I
he was one of
knew
them.
it.
Yes, he was. But the biggest culprit, oh, but then he left and it was kind of sad. Um, was
I
honestly
fucking
Evan.
knew it.
Like not in the peeing of the jugs, but in a lot of the pranking of making sure people doesn't touch my stuff was honestly some of the funniest shit he would tell Nate and I to be like, "Hey, do this or do that." And it's like, "Okay." And like we had, mind you, so my grandmother would go
Right.
grocery shopping at the end of like every month, and she would sometimes take me with her or she would come back and she would buy me tons. And when I say tons, I mean these closets were a probably two
Oh,
foot
yeah.
by like 4 foot
No, we
closet. They
had
weren't big
really tiny
closets. I don't know if you remember
closets.
them. She would fill the bottom half about 4 feet deep in food, everything from ramen to snack food to snack
God.
drinks, and I would have my curtain closed. So when they did dorm checks and stuff at night, one night they came through with Dr. Richard because he was the guy at the time in charge of like checking the dorms, and we had a dorm check, and he came through and went, "What in the world is this? Are you like stashing food for like an army or something?" And we're like, "No, dude, we're literally we literally just my grandmother just sends over food and whatever." And we were known as like one of the snack hubs, and I might have made a little bit of money off and on by being like, "You got $5? You want like a moon pie? You want like and like Swiss rolls? You want like strawberry
I
shortcake
used to do
rolls? Like,
that,
what
but
do
I
you
would
want?"
do all of the girls on dorm. I would do their hair and makeup for them. Like if we had an event
Ooh,
or
uh-huh.
something, or if they were going out like on a secret date, and I would just like get them to trade me food, laundry money, or I would get them to trade me notes. It'd be like, if you take really good notes in a class,
That's clever.
I will do your hair and makeup for you. I'll even like do up your eyebrows for you, like wax you, if you give me your notes. And they'd be like, yes, please. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm like, I got you, girl. Like, don't worry about it. Because I'm Canadian, going to school in the States, I couldn't make any money. I was 17 years old.